The ocean has always been a realm of mystery. Vast and unyielding, it guards its secrets well. Among the most chilling of these secrets are ghost ships, vessels abandoned under inexplicable circumstances, their fates intertwined with tragedy and myth. Tonight, we sail into the unknown, uncovering the stories of 7 infamous ghost ships that still haunt the waters. The year was 1872. The Mary Celeste, a merchant brigantine, set sail from New York to Genoa, Italy, carrying a valuable cargo of denatured alcohol. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, a deeply religious and experienced sailor, his wife Sarah, their young daughter Sophia, and 7 crew members. They were expected to reach their destination by early December. But on December 4th, the ship was discovered drifting aimlessly near the Azores by the British vessel Dei Gratia. When the crew of Dei Gratia boarded the Mary Celeste, they found no sign of life. The ship's cargo was untouched, the crew's belongings undisturbed, and even the lifeboats were still securely fastened. Yet the ship's logbook hinted at a sudden and unexplained departure. What had happened? Some speculated a rogue wave or seaquake, others blamed foul play, and some believed supernatural forces were at work. The mystery of the Mary Celeste has endured for over a century, leaving us to wonder what truly caused an experienced captain to abandon his ship and family.
The Mary Celeste may have set the stage for maritime mysteries, but it was far from the only ship to vanish or leave us with unanswered questions. Let's now journey to the icy waters of Alaska, where another enigma, the SS Baychimo, drifted into legend. In 1931, the SS Baychimo, a steel-hulled cargo steamer, was transporting furs through the icy waters off Alaska. Trapped by early winter ice near Barrow, her crew abandoned her, expecting to return once the ice thawed. But nature had other plans. The Baychimo broke free and began her solitary journey, drifting across the Arctic for decades. The ship was sighted repeatedly by whalers, native Inuit tribes, and even scientific expeditions. Yet every attempt to salvage her ended in failure. The Baychimo became a legend, earning the title of the Arctic Ghost Ship. Her last confirmed sighting was in 1969, though rumours persist that she still drifts in the icy expanse, a chilling reminder of the unforgiving Arctic. While the Baychimo wandered the Arctic seas for decades, our next tale takes us to the realm of seafaring folklore. Brace yourself for the legend of the Flying Dutchman, a ship that is said to sail the oceans for eternity. Perhaps the most famous ghost ship of all is the Flying Dutchman, a spectral vessel doomed to sail the seas for eternity. The story dates back to the 17th century, with roots in Dutch maritime folklore. According to legend, Captain Hendrik van der Decken attempted to navigate around the Cape of Good Hope during a violent storm. When his crew begged him to turn back, he defied both them and God, declaring that he would complete his journey even if it took him forever. At that moment, he and his ship were cursed. Over the centuries, sailors have reported sightings of the Flying Dutchman. In 1881, even Prince George of Wales, the future King George V, claimed to have seen the ghostly ship glowing ominously off the coast of Australia. But what is the Flying Dutchman? A mirage caused by light refracting on the water, or a true harbinger of doom? From the chilling legends of the Flying Dutchman, we shift to a very real and perplexing mystery in the warm waters of the South Pacific. The MV Joyita, a ghost ship in its own right, carries a tale of abandonment that baffles investigators to this day. In October 1955, the MV Joyita set out from Samoa, bound for the Tokelau Islands, with 25 passengers and crew. 5 weeks later, the vessel was found adrift near Fiji, partially submerged but still afloat. The lifeboats were missing, and strange clues were scattered on board: bloodied bandages, broken clocks, and a partially disassembled radio. Despite an exhaustive search, none of the passengers or crew were ever found. Theories abound: pirates, mutiny, a freak accident. Some even suggest government conspiracies tied to nuclear testing in the Pacific. Yet the MV Joyita remains an unsolved mystery. The MV Joyita's unresolved fate might seem unique, but just across the Atlantic, another ship left an even more haunting legacy. Enter the Carroll A Deering, a schooner whose disappearance and mysterious abandonment still spark debates among historians and sailors alike. It was January 1921, a cold winter month, when the Carroll A Deering, a 5-masted schooner, set sail from Barbados toward the Virginia coast. But what happened next would become one of the most mysterious disappearances in maritime history. As the ship approached Cape Hatteras, an eerie discovery would leave the world in shock. The Carroll A Deering, the very same ship that had been last seen in high spirits, was now found beached on the Diamond Shoals, a treacherous stretch of sandbars. But what was even more shocking was that the ship was completely abandoned. The crew, including the captain, were nowhere to be found. The ship itself was still in good condition, the sails were intact, and there was no sign of a struggle. But the supplies? They had been hastily abandoned. It was as though the crew had simply vanished. The only clue left behind was a strange, unexplainable report from a lighthouse keeper who had seen unusual activity aboard the ship just before it disappeared. So, what happened to the crew of the Carroll A Deering? Well, there are several theories, none of which can explain it all conclusively. Some believe the crew was overpowered by pirates, but no evidence of an attack was found. Others suspect a mutiny. Could the crew have turned on the captain? But no signs of a violent conflict were found either. Then there's the theory of prohibition smuggling. The area around Cape Hatteras was known for illicit alcohol trade during the Prohibition years. Was the Carroll A Deering involved in something far darker? Or could this just be one of those stories that plays into the supernatural? A ghost ship haunting the waters of the Atlantic. Theories are abundant, but the truth, that remains lost to the waves. The Carroll A Deering's eerie tale is chilling, but our next ship takes us to an even darker and more sinister place. The story of the Ourang Medan delves into death, fear, and inexplicable horror that may leave you questioning what truly happened at sea. In the year 1947, a chilling, desperate distress signal echoed through the Strait of Malacca. It was from a Dutch freighter called the Ourang Medan, and the message sent shivers down the spines of anyone who heard it. All officers dead. I die. When a rescue team boarded the vessel, they were met with a horrifying sight. Every member of the crew was dead, their faces frozen in expressions of sheer terror. There were no signs of injury, no gunshot wounds, no visible damage. They were simply dead. Their bodies were still warm, but their expressions were forever locked in an eerie scream. But before any investigation could begin, the Ourang Medan exploded and sank into the deep, leaving behind only questions. What could have possibly caused such a gruesome scene? And why did it happen so suddenly? There are many theories surrounding the death of the crew on the Ourang Medan, but none are more convincing than the idea that the crew was poisoned by a toxic gas leak. The ship had been transporting a dangerous cargo, chemicals that could easily have caused such an event. But then, there's the more sinister side of the mystery. Could the crew have been victims of something supernatural? Ghostly forces, or something from beyond the natural world? Another possibility is that this whole event was a hoax. Some suggest that the story could have been fabricated, exaggerated, or even invented altogether to explain a series of unfortunate events. But no matter what you believe, one thing is certain. The story of the Ourang Medan is one that has baffled experts and sent chills down the spine of anyone who has ever dared to hear it. These tales of ghost ships, from the infamous to the obscure, remind us of the mysteries hidden in the vast, unforgiving oceans. Each ship tells a story, but many of these stories leave us with more questions than answers. Which of these mysteries captivated you the most? The seas, after all, hold their secrets close, and who knows what other ghostly tales are yet to be discovered.